Hello and welcome to my channel, Exceeding League of Reviews. This is my thoughts on video. My thoughts on Impact Wrestling from the 13th of October 2020. The show opens with Moose. It's Moose and he's interacting with Scott D'Amore. He's talking to Scott D'Amore. He doesn't think what's occurring with EC3 and the TNA Heavyweight title should be happening. Scott D'Amore keeps telling him, well look, that guy doesn't go here. You've got an unofficial match, so as far as I'm concerned, it's not a real match, and you're not competing for a title because that's not a recognised title anymore. So what are you complaining about? Moose walks off. We see a video footage of EC3 on the wall, and he's got the TNA Heavyweight title once again. Last week he threw it off a bridge, sounding like it landed in water. What, has he gone fishing for it? Has he retrieved it? What is the point in this? I thought he laid it to rest last week, and now all of a sudden he's got it once again. So yeah, don't know what's going on there. I do like having more belts on a show, but still, you know, you threw it away, now you've got it again. First match of the night, triple threat knockout tag match. It's Rosemary team with Taya Valkyrie taking on Tasha Steelz and Kiva Hogan taking on the team of Neva and Havoc. This was a belter of a match, a very fun match, a lot of action in this match. All the individuals within the match kind of get a bit of offense here, a bit of offense there. There's a moment in the match where Taya Valkyrie jumps to the outside, taking out most of the competitors in the match, but it looks like she takes a nasty bump. It looks like she face plants. Ouch. As she is in the ring later, you see that there's no damage, so hopefully she's okay, but it did look like a nasty bump. While that occurs on the outside of the ring, Rosemary takes advantage and pins Tasha Steelz. So Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie win the match. Neva and Havoc have a stir-off with Rosemary and Taya Valkyrie after the match. So, could there be a more future women's knockout tag team action down the line? It looks so. We see Fallah Bahh backstage. He's got the money under his shirt, but he covers it up. He doesn't want anyone to see it. When he gets asked by the wedding party, by Johnny Bravo's wedding party, have you got the cash? He lies. Crazy Steve notices something fishy, thinks he's lying, and this leads to a match later on in the night. Well, not far off actually. We then see Rosemary and Havoc interact. Havoc's just there. Rosemary just kind of teleports in, asks for Havoc's permission to bring back Father James Mitchell. Havoc's like, okay, next week, if you can beat me in a match, I'll bring him back for you. We then get Fallah Bahh taking on Crazy Steve. Bit of a fun match. Like I said, it was all centered around the fact that Fallah Bahh has been lying about getting the cash he stole from Hernandez the previous week. Crazy Steve rips his shirt off. There's the cash. Fallah Bahh tries to cover it up. This allows Crazy Steve to roll him up and win. You've got to say that's an upset. The little man, Crazy Steve, pinning the big man. So Crazy Steve wins that match. See Heath, Slater, and Rhino. Sorry, I said Heath Slater there. I think it's just Heath. Hashtag Heath for Impact. Heath interacting with Rhino backstage. Rhino says that he's got them into the, what is the match called? Call Your Shots Battle Royal Gauntlet match. He's got them involved in that. If either Heath or Rhino win, Heath gets a contract. However, if Heath loses, if neither of them win the match, Heath doesn't get a contract. Scott D'Amore appears after Heath's walked off, and you didn't tell him about the other stipulation. The fact is, if neither Rhino or Heath win the match, Rhino has his contract terminated. Not only does Heath not get a contract, but Rhino goes on the unemployment line. High stakes for that match. That'll be interesting. Caleb with a K is in the ring. He introduces his client, Tennille Dashwood. We get the next match. It's a 10-person, 10 individual tag match. 5 on 5. 5 against 5. These 10 competitors are in that Call Your Shots Battle Royal Gauntlet match at Bound for Glory. The winning team here will go at it in a fatal 5-way match next week, and the winner of that match will be the last entrant into the Call Your Shots Battle Royal. So, high stakes indeed. So, Tennille Dashwood teaming with Tommy Dreamer, Brian Myers, Cody Deaner, and Johnny Swinger, taking on the team of Hernandez, Cousin Jake, Alicia Edwards, Heath, and Rhino. This is a fun little tag match. Like once again, like the other match, everyone gets a little bit of offense here and there. Like I said, it's quite entertaining in parts. There's an ECW chant when Cody Deaner is in the ring with Rhino, opposite Rhino. There's a fun little ECW, ECW, ECW chant, and once again, there's that kind of homage to the ECW when it's Cousin Jake in there with Tommy Dreamer. Ultimately, the match ends when Heath pins Johnny Swinger. So Heath has won the match for his team. Those five. So the five of Hernandez, Cousin Jake, Alicia, Heath, and Rhino will go at it in a five-way match. Eddie Edwards is seen backstage. He's confronting Sami Callihan. Ken Shamrock attacks him from behind, locking him in the ankle lock, doing more damage to that ankle to the leg of Eddie Edwards before their match at Bound for Glory. Jimmy Jacobs is backstage, questioning Eric Young if Rich Swann will be ready for Bound for Glory. Do you think he'll be ready? Eric Young will answer those questions later on in the night. Fourth match of the night. Kimberly with Deonna Purrazzo, the knockout champion, taking on Kylie Ray. Kimberly does a lot of offense in this match. She controls the majority of this match, but ultimately it's Kimberly with the submission victory that wins the match. And Deonna Purrazzo tries to interject herself at the end of the match, tries to attack Kylie Ray. To no avail though. Kylie Ray ends up thwarting her efforts and standing tall in the ring. Good for you, Kylie Ray. Fifth match of the night. It's the big man. It's the LG, the big LG. It's Doc Gallows of the Good Brothers with Carl Anderson taking on Madman Fulton with Ace Austin in his corner. This is your main event match. The fifth match of the night. Two big men, two powerful men. They start brawling. The brawl goes to the outside of the ring. The referee counts them out. It's a double count out. It's a draw. We go to an advert break. When we come back, they're still brawling. We get told by the commentators that this match, the Impact Wrestling officials have decided this is a no DQ, no count out match. It's been restarted under those rules, those stipulations. So it just becomes weapons galore. There's a lead pipe. There's a dozen chairs. There's a road sign. I think you can see a golf club. There's all kinds of weapons. The beer cans get used. This just becomes a weapons galore match. Ultimately, Doc Gallows, double choke slam to Madman Fulton through two chairs that have been set up in the ring and pins him to win the match. Doc Gallows wins the match. Good for you. Bit of momentum for you and your tag team title match later at Bound for Glory. Outcomes after this. Outcomes Eric Young. He's going to give his answers. But he wants the answers. He wants to know, is Rich Swann going to be ready? He's calling out Scott D'Amore. He wants to know, is Rich Swann ready? I don't think he will be. The damage I did to him last week, re-injuring and doing more damage, substantial damage to his leg, I don't think he'll be fit and ready for Bound for Glory. So therefore, I get Bound for Glory off. This brings out Scott D'Amore. Scott D'Amore, you see backstage taking a phone call. It's Rich Swann's doctor. You don't know what news he's giving him, but Scott D'Amore comes out to reveal that news, and he reveals Rich Swann, he's going to be ready for the match at Bound for Glory. He's going to be ready, and he's coming for Eric Young. This sets off Eric Young into a fit of rage. He attacks Scott D'Amore. Rich Swann comes down to make the save. Rich Swann poses with the Impact Heavyweight Championship. Could that be what we see come Bound for Glory? Possibly. Who knows? Final little bit of the night. Moose. Moose has pulled up at some random location. It's where the bridge was that EC3 threw the TNA Heavyweight title off last week. There, the two men brawl. They attack each other. Each man looks like he's getting on top. Moose gets on top though. He ends up beating down EC3 to a bloody pulp, a real bloody pulp, because you just see blood all over Moose's hand, all over EC3's face. Moose walks off with the TNA Heavyweight Championship, but EC3 is smiling. They've got a match in an undesignated location at Bound for Glory. Let's see what occurs with that one. Is it going to be for the TNA Heavyweight title? Is the TNA Heavyweight title going to become a legitimate title within Impact Wrestling? We'll have to wait and see. So my overall thoughts on this show, it was a decent show. Quite a lot of nice, steady build for Bound for Glory, raising the stakes, like with the Call Your Shots Battle Royal Gauntlet match. with Heath potentially getting a contract, potentially getting a job. For all the other competitors, they're competing to win an opportunity at any title of their choosing. So lots at stake. The women's match to start the night, that was my belter match of the night. That was a belter of a match. That one, I said it before and I'll say it again. These women need knockout tag team titles again. They need these to compete for. These women are brilliant at what they do and they need something to strive for. They've got a wealth of female talent currently. Yes, they could do with a few more just to beef up the division, to make the division stay relevant. But I think they could do it. Impact seem to be taking the women seriously, taking the knockout seriously. Give these knockouts the knockout tag team titles once again. Have these three teams compete for it at Bound for Glory. That is a must see. The two big men, they had a good match, Doc Gallows and Madman Fulton. The comedy match of Fallah Bar against Crazy Steve, it was what it was. Yeah, it was quite fun. So overall, this was a good show. Like I said, the build for Bound for Glory is steady and it's progressing well and it gets you hyped for the show. So yeah, overall a good show. And my belter match of the night, it's got to be that three-way tag match: Taya Valkyrie teaming with Rosemary against Neva and Havoc and against Kiva Hogan and Tasha Steelz. Check it out. That's my belter of the night. So, those are my thoughts on the match. What are your thoughts on the match? On the match? On the night? On the show? On each match if you want. Let me know in the comments. Like this video. Hit the subscribe button. Share with your friends. And yeah, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. Stay classy.